What is going on, guys? My name is Jonathan. This is Trevor. We're the Alamo City Living team, and here we talk about everything you want to know about living in San Antonio. We're also real estate agents, and we help families all the time who are looking to relocate their families to the Alamo City.
And today, we're going to be talking about some of the things that we absolutely love and cannot stand about real estate here in San Antonio. So let's get after it.
All right, guys, let's just jump right into it with the first thing that we hate about San Antonio real estate.
All right, guys, so the first thing that we're going to talk about that we cannot stand about San Antonio real estate is the challenges that come with the growing population when it comes to infrastructure, right? Two of these main things have to do with traffic congestion and the strain that it's putting on public services. Now, let's talk about traffic for a minute. If you've been on this channel for more than, I don't know, 2 videos, you'll notice that we probably talk about how bad traffic is here in San Antonio. There's a reason for that, okay? When it comes to the outside of the city in particular, a lot where these new construction neighborhoods are popping up, that's where the majority of people that we've seen are moving, okay? We've helped numerous families move to the far west side, north side, towards Bernie, just towards the outskirts of the city. Now, the increase in population in these areas is rising so fast that the city really can't keep up with maintaining the roads and expanding the roads to accommodate for that extra amount of traffic in those areas, for sure. Now, when it comes to public services, that's something completely different. As population increases, the demand for those services is naturally going to increase, right? Now, we're talking about public services, school, healthcare, and other services that are just typically available that the public utilizes, right? So all in all, as the population increases, the demand for all of these services is naturally going to increase, whether it's increasing school districts, increasing the amount of public services available to the people, or really just providing for the public in general.
Right. Okay, guys, one of the things that we absolutely love about real estate here in San Antonio is that the process to purchase real estate is very straightforward.
Yeah.
We've heard from other folks who have relocated to San Antonio from other cities and states that the process can be somewhat complicated when it comes to buying and selling homes. But here in San Antonio, it is pretty straightforward. You get pre-approved, you house hunt, you go under contract. You may have to renegotiate depending on what your inspector finds with the home. But after that, you get final loan approval and you sign documents. It sounds very simple. That's because it is pretty simple, guys. We don't usually have to deal with attorneys when it comes to purchasing real estate. There are some exceptions if we are dealing with possibly land or trusts and things like that, mineral rights and things like that. But for the most part, those who are moving here to San Antonio, the process is pretty simple, and we absolutely love that.
All right, guys, swinging back the other way with a hate category, soil and foundation issues. Our soil has a lot of clay in it, okay? It just does. And naturally with our climate, we have extreme heat, a lot of drought, and we also, and during the springtime especially, we'll have these crazy spurts of rain, okay? Now, I'm not an expert here, but I do know a little bit about soil, okay? When the soil is dry, when we have those periods without water, it tends to retract and pull away from the house. Now, with the opposite of that, whenever we have these crazy amounts of rain, it pushes up against the house and causes a lot of pressure, which causes the foundation to crack. Now, new construction houses, older houses, it affects everybody. Nobody is immune. If you don't have foundation issues and you build a new construction house, the chances of you having them in the future are pretty high, so it's always important to maintain the soil. But if you do decide to buy a resale home, that's one of the issues that we consistently see popping up on homeowners inspections before we buy the house, and the issue almost always has to be addressed. So if you're planning to buy in San Antonio or sell, just understand that is an issue that nearly everybody is going to face, so it's important to understand the ways that you can address that issue to make that process super smooth.
And this isn't just an issue that's specific to San Antonio. This is Texas in general. So Texas just tends to have a lot of foundation issues in neighborhoods. It has gotten better over the years, but if you are looking for a resale home in an older neighborhood, you just don't be surprised to find that there may be cracks in the foundation, cracks in the walls, or evidence that there may be a bigger issue with the foundation. Okay, guys, with the negative also comes a positive. One of the things that we love about San Antonio real estate is the diversity of the neighborhoods in San Antonio. San Antonio is a very old town. It's been around for a couple hundred years, and with that, we have very, very old historic neighborhoods all the way up to brand new construction that we're still watching those get built today. So there's a lot of variety as to the type of environment and neighborhood that you might want to live. Earlier today, we spoke to some folks. We asked them their favorite area of San Antonio, and they said they love the King William district, and that's here in the center of San Antonio. It's a very old historic area of town that's beautiful. And then we have some folks that we've helped buy up in the Bernie area or Fair Oaks Ranch area, where those neighborhoods are a little bit newer, and people love that as well. So regardless of what it is that you want and what it is that you love, San Antonio, I believe, has it for you, and we absolutely love that about our town.
All right, guys, last negative of the day. I don't want to put a damper in this time of the year, right? We can't do that, but we have to address it. We've talked about this on the channel before, but property taxes, okay? It's no secret. Property taxes here in San Antonio are very high. They're very high, higher than they should be. But that's for several reasons. Reason number one, we kind of addressed this a little bit earlier, but Texas relies very heavily on their property taxes to fund their need for public services, which is why those are a little bit high to begin with. But number two, as we talked about earlier with the population increase in San Antonio, as population increases, people are buying up more homes. As that demand increases, the value of the homes are naturally going to increase. Again, law of supply and demand. When those home values increase, the assessed value that the county puts on your home increases, and with that comes, well, additional property tax payments that are going to be due on your home. It sucks, nobody likes it, we're all affected by it, but it is what it is, and that's the price of living here.
One of the things that we hate how it affects investors specifically is you might find a home at that's priced very, very well, but the property taxes can be high in that area that can affect your mortgage, which then affects how you might want to rent that property if you're an investor. So that is something when you're running your numbers as an investor specifically, you want to look at what are the property taxes in that area that's really going to affect your numbers.
For sure.
Okay, guys, and last but not least, what we absolutely do love about San Antonio real estate is the affordability compared to other major Texas cities. All right, guys, one of the cities that we compare San Antonio to the most is going to be Austin, because Austin is our northern neighbor and it is extremely popular. A lot of people have been moving to Austin over the last few years. And so we do like to give comparison as to the affordability between Austin and San Antonio. Generally speaking, San Antonio is much cheaper than Austin. The cost of living can rise and fall depending on where you live or where you decide to settle down. However, the San Antonio cost of living index is 91.5, meaning that San Antonio can expect a cost of living that is 8.5% lower than the national average out of 100. However, the cost of living index for Austin is 101.5, which puts it 1.5% higher than the national average.
And why would you like to compare with Austin? Because again, it's a very close comparison. We can't neglect other cities like Houston and Dallas and all of these other ones as well.
Well, close in proximity, but when it comes to all these numbers, it's definitely not close in
1,000%.
Right.
So as of October 2024, just to give you an idea, San Antonio's median listing home price was about $295,000. But when you look at Austin's, it was about $485,000. Dallas at about $351,000, and Houston at about $315,000. And these are all according to Realtor.com. So every Texas major city that was included in this, we beat every single one of them, which is pretty impressive to say the least.
It's very impressive, and it just kind of goes to show why so many people are continuing to choose San Antonio over some of these other cities. All right, guys, as you can see, there are definitely some pros and cons to the real estate market here in San Antonio, but I would definitely say that the pros outweigh the cons.
Yeah, man, I would have to agree with you on that one. It doesn't matter where you go, there's going to be something negative about it. Somebody's going to nitpick, but also you're going to have the other end of that spectrum, right? So is San Antonio that different from every other city and the amount of pros and cons that it has? Not necessarily, but I'm in 100% agreement with you. The pros outweigh the cons, and we get that same feedback from the clients that we help move here. Speaking of which, if you and your family are planning on moving here within the next few weeks, next few days, next few months, I don't care, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, or you can visit this website that is popping up on the screen right now, www.alamocitylivingteam.com. A one-stop shop for everything you guys need to know about living in and around San Antonio.
Guys, we appreciate the continued support. We hope to catch you in the next video.